Still to come at 3, it's Bob Harris. At 2, Mark and Lard. Right now, the Live Lounge.
BBC Radio 1 Vintage.
The Live Lounge.
BBC Radio 1.
Well, good afternoon. You are listening to Radio 1 Vintage, and we are celebrating 50 glorious years of Radio 1. So I'm Clara Amfo. I present the Live Lounge on Radio 1, where we have the biggest artists from all over the world coming in to do what they do best, to perform live. They always have to do a single, and of course there's that all-important Live Lounge cover. Now, the Live Lounge started way back in 1999 with Simon Mayo, but the main hosts of the Live Lounge until I took over were these two lovely ladies who are in front of me right now, visions of blonde beauty.
Hello, Clara.
Hello, Fern. How are you?
I'm good.
Joe Wiley. This is very odd, you know.
It's lovely though, isn't it? It's really great.
It's great. It feels really, really good to have you
nice.
here. So, like, how has life been since you've left Radio 1? Fern, go.
Just a cacophony of puke and poo and nappies and just stuff like that, really. But everything's great.
Joe, what about you?
Yeah, all is good. Graduated into Radio 2 territory and very happy there, just doing the same kind of things I did at Radio 1. So it's really fun, you know. We're very lucky.
And being here today in the studio is a bit odd being back in Radio 1. Has everything changed, or is it just like putting on a familiar
Well,
jumper?
I wasn't in this building, so this feels really strange to me. But right behind you is the Radio 1 Vintage logo. And that is the days that I grew up listening to Radio 1 and going to Radio 1 roadshows where people like Tony Blackburn were and Andy Peebles, that kind of strange thing. So it's very, very weird. And we're in a very high-tech, modern studio.
Yes, gone are the days of the
these are good,
iconic
aren't
red
they?
and white and blue logo. It's just
Yeah.
our kind of classic black and white one now. It's
Yeah.
lovely to have you here. And look, the next hour, it is all about you ladies. So you're going to get to pick your favourite live lounges. Joe, we're going to start with you. So please tell me what your first choice is and why did you pick it?
Okay, I'm going to go to 2006, and this is something that happened at Maida Vale. And I remember this so distinctly because it was a bunch of very, very young boys in a band, like young adolescents, and they were very nervous and they're very cheeky, a little bit awkward, a little bit difficult to chat to. And it was one of the covers that I get talked to about a lot. It was something that kind of has captured everyone's imagination. And the joy of the Live Lounge cover is when people do something that's very, very unlikely and completely at odds with the kind of music they make. So when Arctic Monkeys decided to do A Girls Aloud
I
cover,
love this one.
Yes,
I mean, how good. And listen out for Alex's laugh. This is my favourite moment in any Live Lounge ever.
Ladies, you're damn right, you can't read a man's mind. We're living in two tribes and heading for war. Well, nobody's perfect, we've all got to work it, but fellas, we're worth it, so don't break the law.
You're cold, late, big mistake. You've got to hang around in limbo for as long as I take. Next time, read my mind,
And I'll be good to you. We're gift wrapped kitty cats. We're only turning into tigers when we've got to fight back. Let's go, Eskimo, out into the blue. Come take my hand, understand that you can. You're my man and I need you tonight. Come make my dreams only hard as it seems. Loving me is as easy as pie. I am just a love machine, feeding my fantasy. Give me a kiss or three, and I'm fine. I need a squeeze a day instead of the negligee. What will the neighbours say? This time I've been going crazy while you sleep, thinking of a language that the two of us can speak. To Mr. Prehistoric, make your wheel, and I'll breathe underwater cause I like the way it feels.
I said you're cold, late, big mistake. You've got to hang around in limbo for as long as I take. Next time, read my mind,
and I'll be good to you. We're gift wrapped kitty cats. We're only turning into tigers when we've got to fight back. Let's go, Eskimo, out into the blue. Come take my hand, understand that you can. You're my man, I need you tonight. Come make my dreams only hard as it seems. Loving me is as easy as pie. I am just a love machine, feeding my fantasy. Give me a kiss or three, and I'm fine. I need a
Arctic Monkeys from 2006, an iconic live lounge there. That was their version of Girls Aloud's Love Machine, as selected by Joe Wiley.
That was so good to listen to. I remember their faces, them laughing, Alex laughing so much, and then actually you hear it. And those words are really tricky to try and sing and get right, you know?
And nice to hear they're having fun. They're not being very serious about it. You know, they're sort of having a nice time. And you really feel that listening to it. Oh,
I think that's the joy of the live lounge, though, isn't it? Because I think it's great when artists can come in and do, like, you know, a very serious, like, muso song, and that's all well and good. But I think it's great when people can just have a sense of humour and just have fun with it. And that's still, I think, probably one of the most talked about live lounges. Still goes down a tree at uni raves. Always a good choice. Fern, on to you next.
Right, I've chosen one that scared me massively from beginning to end, but it was very enjoyable at the same time. So it's from 2010, Maida Vale, Eminem. So my memories of this, I turned up, I started the show. Usually you might see the artist here and there walking around the corridors and say a quick hello. This was not the case. I just saw 5 man mountains, these huge men. I mean, they must have been 8 foot tall and 8 foot wide. They were insane. So I sort of politely nodded, hello, Mr. Big Man. And then Eminem sort of didn't show, and we were kind of a bit panicked, whatever. So we got to the song before he was about to go live. He sort of got whisked in, did a rehearsal, swore the whole way through it. So I was absolutely terrified that this was then going to be what happened on air. I was thinking, this is going to be a disaster. I'm going to have to sort of stop him. It's going to be embarrassing, awkward. Anyway, he came in, had a quick chat. Time for him to do his first track live. The absolute insane, impeccable pro that he is. Just boshed out the song, not a single swear word, edited himself. Just, I've never seen anything so slick in my life. It was a pure joy to watch it, and I was completely in awe of him.
Well, here we go then, without the swears, definitely.
Yes.
Eminem, this is Stand from his live lounge in 2010.
Slim, I wrote you, but you still ain't calling. I left my cell, my pager, and my home phone at the bottom. I sent 2 letters back in autumn. You must not have got them. There probably was a problem at the post office or something. Sometimes I scribble addresses too sloppy when I jot them. But anyways, what's been up, man? How's your daughter? My girlfriend's pregnant too. I'm about to be a father. If I have a daughter, guess what I'ma call her? I'ma name her Bonnie. I read about your Uncle Ronnie too, I'm sorry. I had a friend kill himself over something you didn't want him. I know you probably hear this every day, but I'm your biggest fan. I even got the underground that you did with Scam. I got a room full of your posters and your pictures, man. I like the you did with Ruckus too, that was bad. Anyways, I hope you get this, man. Hit me back, just to chat. Truly yours, your biggest fan. This is Stan.
Done for me, so I don't plan on stopping at all. I want this forever, mine, ever mine, ever mine. I shut down in the mall and telling that girl she the one for me, and I ain't even planning to call. I want this forever, mine, ever mine, ever mine.
Stadiums and shady spaces flow. Nuts they go, macadamia and they go so ballistic. Whoa, he can make them look like bozos. He's wondering if you just spit this slow. No, go for broke. His cup just run over. Oh no, he ain't had him a bust like this since the last time that he overdosed. They've been waiting patiently for Pinocchio to poke his nose back into the game, and they know rap will never be the same as before. That's in the brains of these hoes and establishing a name as he goes. The passion and the flame is ignite. You can't put it out once we light it. This is exactly what I'm talking about when we riot. You did it with a few true feelings. You stand inside of the boot, you spilling it, spit you feelings until our two feelings come crying up out of our mouths. I rewind it. Payback for the way that you doubted me. How's it taste? Now slap the taste out of your mouth with the bass so loud that it shakes the place. I'm Hannibal Lecter, so just in case you're thinking of saving face, you ain't gonna have no face to say by the time I'm through with this place. So straight.
It may not mean nothing to y'all. understand when it's done to me. So I don't plan on stopping at all. I won't be forever mine, ever mine, ever mine, ever mine.
From 2010, Eminem in the Live Lounge. That was Stan. So if you just tuned in, hello, welcome to Radio 1 Vintage. It's Clara Amfo here, and I'm joined by two esteemed guests, two absolute dons of Radio 1. The lovely Fern Cotton, hello.
Hello.
And Joe Wiley.
Hi.
So today on the show, Fern and Joe are picking their favourite live lounges, and it's safe to say that Coldplay are legends when it comes to Radio 1. And of course, both Fern and Joe wanted to hear tunes from Coldplay. So to keep it diplomatic, both of these lovely ladies are going to have their Coldplay choice. But before we get into hearing them live, we're going to go down Coldplay memory lane. Coldplay are definitely in the Radio 1 DNA. So Fern, your Coldplay memories, I mean, I'm sure there are several.
Yeah, lots. But one that really stands out, I think, you know, me and Joe will probably say a similar thing because Chris is this really distinguished character who, once you meet him, you're kind of full of all of these wonderful memories and thoughts and feelings. And he's this brilliant, sort of self-deprecating, peculiar, wondrous character. And one of my best memories was that we were doing one of the student tours and we were in Norwich. So that we were in this sort of student union type setup, which is always weird to start with anyway. And there's lots of students who have sort of been dragged out of bed at 10 in the morning going, where am I? All stood around. And then Coldplay performing to this intimate crowd of people just waiting, like hanging on every note, hanging on every word. And about 20 seconds into the song, the dinner bell went in the middle of the song. And we were like... We should have probably thought about that before we started this. But it was a lovely moment. So Chris kind of reacted and sort of laughed a bit and then just carried on. It was this lovely little natural moment, tying up where we were, who was there, the feel of the whole student tour. And it was just a really lovely moment and a perfect band for that to happen to.
When it comes to Coldplay, you're exactly right. Just you summed up Chris very well indeed, because he was instantly very charismatic, again, full of self-doubt and self-deprecation, just taking the mickey constantly. But the star quality was there from the very beginning. As soon as he opened his mouth, it was like, oh, you're different. You're a cut above the rest. You are rather special. And the songs that they performed, this is still my favourite, as we were just saying, favourite era, I think, of Coldplay, going right back to the beginning. Shiver has always been a favourite song when they do that live, but Yellow will always have a special place in my heart. So this is from their first session that they did, and this was at the old Radio 1 headquarters. I can remember it like it was yesterday with the band right in front of me and just trying to interview this mercurial character who was just constantly evading all the questions. So yeah, Coldplay and Yellow.
They were all yellow. I came along, I wrote a song for you, and all the things you do, and it was called Yellow. So then I took my turn. Oh, what a thing to have done. And it was all yellow. And your skin, oh yeah, your skin and bones turn into something beautiful. And you know I love you so. You know I swam across, I jumped across for you. Oh, what a thing to do. 'Cause you were all yellow. I drew a line, I drew a line for you. Oh, what a thing to do. And it was all yellow, yeah. And your skin, oh yeah, your skin and bones turn into something beautiful. And you know, for you I bleed myself dry. For you I'd bleed myself dry. It's true. Look how they shine for you. Look how they shine for you. Look how they shine for. Yeah, look how they shine for you. Look how they shine for you. Look how they shine. Look at the stars. Look how they shine for you. And all the things that you do.
There was a lot of, I guess, heart clutching and sighing going on in the studio during that. Coldplay from 2000, as selected by Joe. That was Yellow on Radio 1 Vintage. Joe, you need to tell us your story.
I was on holiday and my whole family take the mickey out of me being emotional and kind of, you know, having these things that they call moments, which is where I stare off into the background or into the distance and have reflections. And I was walking along this lonely, long beach on my own and they filmed me doing it and they did this little film and it was to the sound of Yellow, just and Steve, my husband, just going, look, Mum's having a moment. And there I am, being Chris Martin on the beach.
Well, that was your perfect moment, and we thoroughly enjoyed hearing it. Coldplay, Yellow. So we continue with more of our Live Lounge legends. Now, one of the great things we do on the show is that we have these specials where people come in and perform more than the usual 2 songs. And one person that did that in 2013 was Justin Timberlake, wasn't it, Fan?
Oh, it was. I remember this day, and I'll never forget it because it was my birthday. And it was my first day back at work after maternity leave. And that first day back at work, as I'm sure, Joe, you will know very well, is the weirdest day ever. Because for the first time ever, you can sort of drink a cup of tea without someone crying. And you feel like it's just a bit weird. Just sort of like I can drink a tea and I can chat to humans. And it's a real weird moment where you sort of drop back into the atmosphere. It's really strange. So I was sort of doing that in the presence of Justin Timberlake. So the whole day was just completely surreal. And I was waiting around, getting a bit nervous. My first day back, can I still do this? I've forgotten how to speak. And then I got summoned into his dressing room. And that made me even more terrified and sort of sweaty palms. So I walked in there and then I'd met him once before years ago, not that he'd ever remember. So I walked in, got a big hug off him, sat down, had a lovely chat. And then instantly he just put me at ease. And I should have sort of been, not that he needs that, but sort of doing that to him. He was coming into our territory. But I just felt very calm, ready for the show. And then he just went up on stage and did exactly what he does best. He's my favourite pop star without a doubt. He's a triple threat. He can do it all. His dancing was ridiculous during this special. He did a brilliant Michael Jackson mashup. He's just the one. I adore him.
Well, let's hear from the triple threat from 2013. This is Justin Timberlake with Mirrors on Radio 1 Vintage. A proper showman. So that was done at the Radio Theatre, wasn't it, Fern?
No, stop being so amazing, Justin Timberlake. Stop it.
No, come back and be amazing again, please.
Just so casual with it, isn't he?
He's so cash. Not out of breath at all after that.
Well,
Just
that's the thing.
Whatever.
We love you, Justin Timberlake. We're going to go on to another big pop star now. One, Miss Stephanie Germanotta, a.k.a. Lady Gaga. So this is from 2009. Joe, why did you pick this one?
Because it was hilarious. It was one of the funniest days at work that I ever had. So Lady Gaga came in to do the Live Lounge, and I wasn't quite convinced it was going to happen. It just sounded like quite a strange thing. And it was fairly early on in her career. And she'd suddenly transmogrified into this lady. She just decided she was going to walk around everywhere, and all the performances that she did, all the appearances, were accompanied by a teacup. She just walked around and she had this little tiny dainty teacup, and she walked in and she was just being very dainty and delicate, and then sat there. And it was one of the early ones that we filmed, I think, and I had to sit in front of her. And I remember she was trying to get me to either A, sing along, or B, clap while this was going on.
No.
I mean, I don't do any of those. I do not do that. Can you imagine how mortifying this was?
I can't bear the thought.
No, it was hideous. It was absolutely horrendous. And I was really, really close to her. I was right in front of her. So I just had to sit there like this, captive audience.
My toes are curling,
Thank
Joe.
you, yeah. But it was also absolutely brilliant as well. And I really, really like her and love her a lot. So, yeah, this stands out in my mind a lot for many different reasons. But, yeah, always the teacup, the dainty teacup
With
there. 'Cause she was
teacup.
being a lady.
Here she is, Gaga, Poker Face.
I wanna hold them like they do in Texas, please. Fold them, let them hit me, raise it, baby, stay with me. Love game, intuition, play the cards with spades to start. And after he's been hooked, I'll play the one that's on his heart. Oh. I'll get him hot, show him what I've got. I'll get him hot, show him what I've got. Carried my, no, he can't read my poker face. He's got me like nobody. Carried my, no, he can't read my poker face. She's got me like nobody. Poker face, poker face. Poker face, poker face. I wanna roll with him, a heart pair we will be. A little gambling is fun when you're with me. Surely it's not the same without a gun. And baby, when it's love, if it's not rough, it isn't fun. I'll get him hot, show him what I've got. I want you to know. I'll get him hot, show him what I've got. Carried my, no, he can't read my poker face. He's got me like nobody. Carried my, no, he can't read my poker face. She's got me like nobody. Poker face, poker face. Poker face, poker face. Just like to thank everybody at Radio 1 for having me today. I won't tell you that I love you, kiss you, hug you, cause I'm bluffing with my mouth, but I'm not lying, I'm just stunning with my love glue gunning. Just like a chick in a casino, take your bag before I pay you out. I promise this. Check this sand, cause I am marvelous. I'm marvelous, I'm marvelous, I'm marvelous, so marvelous. Can't read my, he can't read my poker wanna snap with me? A poker, he can read my poker. A poker, he can read my poker. A poker face.
Just giving full Gaga there. Full Gaga.
Cute, yeah, disappointed face from Gaga. Do you want to snap with me? No, I'm not snapping. I didn't snap with her at all.
Worse.
No. We were just discussing how, we just had the Justin Timberlake thing, which is at the Radio Theatre, and everything is very grand now. But back in the day, the early days of the Live Lounge, it was the office. It was an office space between 3 studios. And everything around, this is where Gaga was performing. You have the printer there, you had the coffee machine, you had lots of desks, people were working, just carrying on while Lady Gaga was there performing.
And I'm guessing you picked up a lot of background noise.
The printer would be going off, people would be sending emails and printing them out, coming in, people just tiptoeing in, doors opening, closing.
Sticky carpet, all going on.
Absolutely.
I mean, like, awful carpet, bins, as Joe was saying, overflowing with rubbish, fax machines, who has a fax machine? Fax machines going off.
Back in the day, it's how we communicated.
Just, like, chairs, unit assistants sat there typing emails, and they're just, like, Dave Grohl plonked in the middle, there you go, mate. Please don't use the toilet while you're here, and crack on with it.
I remember Michael Stipe using one of the bins as a drum, so like cajon once.
Brilliant.
Is it okay if I use this? Yeah, fine, just use it. Do what you want.
Grassroots.
Yeah.
I like it. Organic. Well, we're going to go back to some more high-tech times now, to 2014, with a guy that I know you've got a great relationship with, the wonderful James Bay. Fern.
Yeah, this was a lovely one. Actually, he came in by default because we had Lana Del Rey booked this day, and it was the Live Lounge month, so we needed a person every day, and she pulled out 2 days before. So everyone was, terrified. What are we going to do? We can't have a day where there's no Live Lounge. And I'd been playing Let It Go for a while and absolutely loved the song. And I said, please, can we get this guy in? And everyone was going, we don't know who he is. No one's heard of him. We can't get this guy in. This is like a month of big people. I sort of begged and prayed and eventually got my way. And he came in, and it was a bit of a gamble because I didn't know if he was good live or not. We just really liked the song. And as soon as he sung that first note, it was like the world stopped turning. Everybody was just still in the office, because people could be quite blasé here because we're quite used to Lady Gaga or whoever walking around
with their teacup.
But everyone just sort of stopped and was like, who is that? What is that voice? What's going on? And it was just spine tingling. I had goosebumps over my whole body. I had no clue what to say afterwards. It was just a proper seminal moment, and I've loved him ever since.
And I remember being in my car and hearing it and sitting in the car and listening.
Way.
Yeah, just going, this is good.
Yeah.
Not getting out of the car till it finished.
He's so good.
Here it is from 2014. This is James Bay with Let It Go.
From walking home and talking loads to seeing shows in evening clothes with you, from nervous touch and getting drunk to staying up and waking up with you. But now we're sleeping at the edge, holding something we don't need. All this delusion in our heads is gonna bring us to our knees. So come on, let it go, just let it be. Why don't you be you, and I'll be me. And everything that's wrong, leave it to the breeze. Why don't you be you, and I'll be me, and I'll be me. From throwing clothes across the floor to teeth and claws and slamming doors at you. If this is all we're living for, then why are we doing and doing and doing it anymore? I used to recognize myself. It's funny how reflections change. When we're becoming something else, I think it's time to walk away. So come on, let it go, just let it be. Why don't you be you, and I'll be me, inside of mine. And we know it just don't belong. There's no force on earth can make it feel right. No. Trying to push this problem up the hill when it's just too heavy to hold. I think now's the time to let it slide. So come on, let it go and just let it be. And why don't you be you? Oh, and I'll be me. Everything that's wrong, leave it to the breeze. Let the ashes fall. Forget about me. Just come on, let it go. Just let it be. Why don't you be you? And I'll be me. And I'll be me.
Radio 1
Vintage.
You're listening to Radio 1 Vintage, and up next, it's me, Mark Radcliffe.
And me, Mark Riley, the artist formerly known as Lard.
See you in about 20 minutes.
We're going to talk about another Live Lounge legend now. Now, we've already had, a bit of, I won't call it beef, but there's been a lot of love for...
I think it's not really beef, it's just
not
a
beef.
mutual love and admiration for certain artists.
Joe and I like the same stuff.
There we go.
Yeah.
So we
That's what
had you guys liking the same stuff with Coldplay, and now you are liking the same stuff in the form of one man in his band, Dave Grohl and Foo Fighters. Definitely Live Lounge legends. So let's hear a little bit from them performing for us.
I won't go getting tired of you. I won't go getting tired of you. I'm not getting tired hanging on this wire. Disenchanted lullaby. Sing me yours, I'll sing you mine. Sing with me now, what's a boy to do? What's a boy to do? There goes my hero. Watch him as he goes. There goes my hero. He's ordinary.
Oh, so good. Dave Grohl there with a whole montage of Foo Fighters songs as performed in the Live Lounge. The final one being My Hero, which was your choice, Fern.
Gorgeous, wonderful. That was again in that room with the fax machine in the bin, and it was just him on a chair with a guitar. And that was it. Like, no
That's
fuss.
what I remember, just looking through the glass and just going, wow, this is pretty cool. This is
no
good.
entourage, no fuss. Like, this
Just
is
a
the-
whole heap of mischief, normally.
Yeah,
That's what
love
it comes
that.
with.
Love that. Because, you do get a lot of bands that come in, and most people are lovely, and we're all really lucky. We've had some great times talking to amazing musicians. Every now and again, someone plays up a bit of a diva or whatever, wants a certain cup of tea or something. Dave, nothing. Plays amazingly, goes. Just lovely. And the whole experience is just joyful. And when he leaves, you go, are we best friends now? I don't understand. Are we great friends? Are we not great friends? Was that a whole sort of weird illusion that I've believed? Because he's just so wonderful when he's with you. It's the best, the best.
Something tells me that he probably would prefer, I think, to perform next to a bin and a fax machine.
Oh, yeah, totally.
Than a big arena on some days. I get
You're
that
correct.
vibe from him, totally.
Yeah, I loved it when he does the acoustic stuff, really.
I do.
We're going to get into one now from 2000, I believe, Joe. This is your choice.
Yeah, can I tell you about this one? So
Please
this
do.
is when, I think he turned up a day early, and I don't know why, I don't know what happened, but I know he was hungover when he came in to do this. So was a little bit frayed around the edges and also extra mischievous. And he did a whole load of stuff, and there was one song, and I don't know whether I'm allowed to say this, but he did this little skit, and I don't know if it ever went out on air, or if we just recorded it, but it was about coming over to Joe Wiley's and eating hash cakes for Christmas. was like, oh, okay, this is the way this one's going to go. But there was a really beautiful moment when he did Everlong. And I remember sitting there thinking, oh my God, this is the most beautiful thing in the world ever. And then reading an interview about a month later and him just going, oh, it's so tedious. I go and I turn up to do radio shows and they just want me to do Everlong acoustically and I just do it. And it was just like, oh, okay, just burst my bubble. Why don't you? But, you know, I think he meant it when he did this particular one for us at Radio 1.
Definitely meant it.
Hello, I've waited here for you everlong. Tonight I throw myself into and out of the red, out of her head she sang. Do, 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 do. Down and waste away with me, down with me. Slow how you wanted it to be. I'm over my head, out of her head she sang. And I wonder when I sing along with you, if everything could ever feel this real forever, if anything could ever be this good again. Only thing I'll ever ask of you, gotta promise not to stop when I say when she sang. Breathe out so I can breathe you in, hold you in now. I know you've always been out of your head, out of her head I sang. And I wonder when I sing along with you, if everything could ever feel this real forever, if anything could ever be this good again. Only thing I'll ever ask of you, gotta promise not to stop when I say when she sang. Sing along with you, if everything could ever feel this real forever, if anything could ever be this good again. Only thing I'll ever ask of you, gotta promise not to stop when I say when.
I reckon he enjoyed that.
Don't you think that's the definitive version, acoustic version of that
absolutely.
song?
It's the only version,
yeah,
Joe. The
2000
only one.
that happened.
Oh, we love you, Dave Grohl. May the fangirling continue forever. We're going to move on to another lovely man now, Tom Odell. Now, Fern, I know you're a big fan of Tom.
I love Tom. I absolutely adore him. We got into a weird tradition where he would always bring me a gingerbread house whenever he came in to do the Live Lounge. I sort of miss that. It was very lovely.
He brought me chocolate once.
Oh, that's sweet. I'm glad that he's continuing
Hang on a minute,
it.
he's bought me nothing.
Well,
What's
I'll
going on here?
have a word with him. That's outrageous.
Hell.
Okay, I'm going to chat with him about that.
Yeah, please do.
I love him, and I love his voice, and I love his piano playing, and I also love. I'm going to play this cover of Lana Del Rey video games, and I love Lana. I was sort of playing her on the radio when she was sort of doing bits on the internet, but she hadn't been played on the radio before. So I was so excited by sort of finding this person and putting them on the radio, and then people loving it as well, and that growing, and that was really exciting. And those moments are so sort of few and far between that they're really exciting when that you see that sort of momentum building. So then when he came in to cover this song, it's one of my favourites anyway, it just made me completely melt. I love it. And I was really cheeky, and I don't do stuff like this normally, and I do lead a very kind of, sort of normal life, but I very cheekily asked Tom to sing this at my wedding as my first dance, and because I was still on the radio at the time, he said yes, because he had no choice.
Yeah, fat chance now.
Exactly.
She'll ruin my career if I say no.
Next time.
I realised that was very self-indulgent of me, but I had to do it. It's just too good. It's too good.
Oh, I think with good reason. Your story
Yeah,
was
but
very,
okay.
very good.
Phew.
No, it's fine.
Good.
Got away with that.
I just had a vision of you just kind of all in your feelings on your wedding day.
Yeah, drunk, gin, swaying, husband looking like a deer in headlights, sober, that sort of thing. Very
Right
romantic.
on. I love it. How to live, Fern Cotton. Joe, we move on to your next choice.
Yeah, this is my last one. I had to go out with this one because this band are very dear to my heart, and they came in so many times when I did the Live Lounge. They carried on doing it at Radio 2 as well. And more often than not, they were hungover when they came in, still reeking of beer. It's Elbow that I'm talking about. And obviously, Guy has the most incredible voice. He used to mention his mum all the time. That's what I remember. He used to be quite, apologetic to his mum. I'm really sorry, Mum, but I do smell a beer doing this. And they did this cover for me, and it's become one of those cult classics. And it became such a cult classic. In the end, they refused to do anything silly, and they just wanted to be serious. But for this one, they decided to cover Destiny's Child. And somebody out there on the internet, this was the early days, because we didn't really take photographs. We didn't film any of the Live Lounges when I was doing it. But somebody out there made a video to go with this, and it involved a lot of dancing cats. So you can look this up and you can watch it. And I think this kind of started off the whole thing of people filming the Live Lounges, kind of gave a germ of an idea. So this, I mean, they don't come much better than this. This is Elbow doing Independent Women Part 1 by Destiny's Child.
Question. Depend on me. Throw your hands up at 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 me. Girl, I didn't know you could get down like that. Charlie, how'd your angels get down like that? Girl, I didn't know you could get down like that. Charlie, how'd your angels get down like that? Question. Depend on me. Throw your hands up at 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 me. Girl, I didn't know you could get down like that. Charlie, how'd your angels get down like that? Girl, I didn't know you could get down like that. Charlie, how'd your angels get down like that? Happy Valentine's Day, Joe.
I forgot that bit at the end. Oh my God.
Incredible.
The video has cats in flat caps dancing to that. Look it up. It's very funny.
Great.
Elbow.
So very good. So I'm guessing they didn't want to do any more silly, quote-unquote silly covers after that.
They did Amory One Thing, which is also worth listening to as well,
good.
where they just sing gobble, gobble, gobble.
Well, I'm happy they did that, though. Elbow, that was Independent Women, Part 1 on Radio 1, Joe's final choice for today. And now we couldn't talk about the Live Lounge without talking about one particular woman, a woman whose voice brings people to tears every time she sings, a woman whose laugh just makes you want to join in and laugh with her. I am, of course, talking about Adele.
Should I give up or should I just keep chasing pavements, even if it leads nowhere? chasing pavements. When the rain is blowing in your face and the whole world is on your case, I could offer you a warm embrace to make you feel my love. 'Cause if you're not really here, and I don't wanna be either, I wanna be next to you. Black and gold, black and gold, black and gold.
Beyonce once said of her, "You're amazing. When I listen to you, I feel like I'm listening to God." I mean, Adele.
Wow. That, To Make You Feel My Love, is just such a defining Adele moment, isn't it? And that was on the Live Lounge tour. We went to her little tiny flat and she had a Brit statue on the toilet cistern. I remember that. She had a big poster of Celine Dion in her bedroom. So she loves Celine Dion. No makeup. She had loads of photographs of her dressed up as the Spice Girls because she loved the Spice Girls so much. It was such a funny thing. We did some kind of pot noodle challenge as well, I seem to remember.
Do you reckon Adele would do a pot noodle challenge now?
No. Probably she would. I reckon she would.
Maybe. Yeah. You should be up for that. I'd love to do a pot noodle challenge with Adele.
Oh,
she's just a good time though, isn't she, Fern?
She's wonderful.
excellent.
She's just great fun, isn't she? She's
Yeah,
just
lovely.
a normal, lovely girl who happens to have this extraordinary talent. And I'd love to play Rolling in the Deep from her Live Lounge special that she did at Maida Vale. She did 6 tracks, including a cover of Cheryl Cole. And I think I cried through most of it. And they kept putting the camera on me. I was like, go away, because I was sort of sobbing, like heaving. Every time you hear her sing live, you're just knocked for 6 completely. And you can hear that perfectly in this Live Lounge.
And sadly, this is the very last song that you're going to hear in today's show. Ladies, I wish we had 2 hours.
I know, what a treat it's been, though. Yeah, so good.
Let's do it again.
I'm up for that. Here she is, the final song in today's show. Fern, thank you so very much.
Thank you, darling.
Joe, thank you so very much.
It's been such a joy.
Here's Adele, Rolling in the Deep.
There's a fire starting in my heart, reaching a fever pitch, and it's bringing me out the dark. Finally, I can see you crystal clear. Go ahead and sell me out, and I'll lay your ship bare. See how I'll leave with every piece of you. Don't underestimate the things that I will do. There is a fire starting in my heart, reaching a fever pitch, and it's bringing me out the dark. The scars of your love remind me of us. They keep me thinking that we almost had it all. The scars of your love, they leave me breathless. I can't help feeling we could have had it all. Rolling in the tears are gonna fall. Rolling in the deep, my heart is somewhere in the open. Then you play, they're gonna fall to the beat. Baby, I have no story to be told, but I've heard one on you. Now I'm gonna make your head burn.